We are live. This is the NBA Rundown. The channel is Nuke the House. Tyler, we just got done talking some NFL, but right now we're on the two-sport grind, and we switch gears right into the National Basketball Association. Let's give ourselves some credit. We indicated at the beginning of the week that this was going to be a tough week. So what we say we're going to do, we're going to dial back some volume and only jump in with the plays we absolutely love. And I know the Knicks gave us a little bit of a sweat there towards the end, but it felt like we identified a very good play with the Oklahoma City Thunder. And you and I were talking right before we started, and I'd like to have this conversation now. You were really impressed with Chet Holmgren. Why don't you let everyone know? What's up, Joey? Everything that you were talking about Chet and how he's compared to Victor so far as rookie performances.
Yeah, what's up to our guy Joey in the chat? I haven't talked to him in a while. I hope everything's good with him. But yeah, I mean, watching Chet play to end that game spread, it was like, hey, dump it down low, block, try and shoot a mid-range shot, block. They'd come down the offensive end. He'd either do the pick and roll with Shea or he'd just catch the ball, pump fake, get the open shot, move to the mid-range, and just hit that little jumper. So more watching him, between him and Wemby, it's looking like Chet was the way more polished guy coming in. And he looks like he's ready to play. I know maybe that 1 year off and getting to sit through all the offseason stuff and everything made him a lot readier to play basketball right off the bat. Kind of similar to how Ben Simmons was his rookie year. But he looks like a stud. I'll say that.
I think the fact that he comes into a competent team helps him so much, though.
Yeah. And plus just being there last year, getting to learn all the outside of basketball stuff that the NBA teams deal with. To where Victor's doing all that in the first year while trying to play with nobody.
Yeah. All right. Well, once again, guys, I hope you're not planning on putting 14 plays in after you watch the show, because Tyler and I are going to take this very carefully. But let's dive right into the card. The Detroit Pistons, Tyler, are plus 17. I don't think they're the highest points spread of the year, though. They were 17.5 earlier against Milwaukee. Getting pretty close there. They're plus 894 currently on the money line. When I look at the injury report for this game, I see that Jaylen Brown is out, but Porzingis is definitely going to play. On the other side, Killian Hayes and Astaire Thompson are both likely to play. Marcus Morris and Isaiah Stewart will be out. So the Pistons will have Jalen Duren in there. Whatever. I project this is at a 20-point win for the Celtics. I have it at 124 to 104. What did you think about this one, Tyler?
I probably end up staying away from the game because it's one of those games. But if I had to pull the trigger, it's the NBA. This is one of just those stupid outcomes. I could see it. I'd have to take points. This is the game where it's like, oh, they're playing the best team in the NBA. They lost the game by like 2. I could just see it coming from a mile away.
Yeah. All right. So Tyler says take the points. The total's also gone over in 5 of their last 6 games.
Let's just think this through, spread. NBA logic wise, they got gifted a win against the Jazz where the Jazz set everybody. It was a road game. They lost that one.
Okay.
So NBA logic, where would they win their game? Against the best teams in the leagues, like a Boston. Or they're going to catch the Suns and Monty Williams is going to get his revenge game. I think it's one of those two things. They either beat one of the top contending teams in the league that's just like, we don't, like, they can give a shit less about this game. Like, if Boston lost this game and they tried to, like, make memes about Boston in the media and everything, in the end, like, do they care? They're going to be a Final Four team. They're going to be in the conference finals. They're probably going to be in the finals. Hell, they're the favorite to hoist the trophy. I think they can give a shit less if they're the team that gets the streak broken on them.
All right. Tyler likes the plus 17. I don't think we're going to get there, though, are we? Are we betting?
I couldn't give it out as an official play, no. But I think that's where I would be in this game.
All right. Another not-so-close point spread is taking place in Minnesota where the Timberwolves are laying 12.5 to the Dallas Mavericks in a game with a total of 227. Looking at this game, Tyler, the total's gone under in 5 of Dallas's last 6 games against Minnesota. Minnesota has won their last 5 games at home. But this is 12.5. It's not just winning straight up. I have this game not projected correctly because I had Luka in there. I had it as an 8-point T-Wolves win, but you can argue that Luka is worth 5 points. 13 seems about right. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's the entire engine of their team. I just don't see how I would get here on Dallas. If anything, I would just be clicking Minnesota. I think their defense could be enough to slow down all the role players. Dallas just played a game last night that they lost outright to the Cavs. Now Luka's sitting here too. So, yeah, Minnesota or pass for me.
All right. The Utah Jazz also are catching a lot of points, 8.5 to be specific, against the New Orleans Pelicans. The total's 240. Looking at that injury report, Fontecchio is a game time decision for the Jazz, and Matt Ryan is out for the Pelicans. So two fairly healthy teams squaring off. The Pelicans have been very hard for me to handicap so far this season. Tyler, what do you make of this game?
It's a weird game. I mean, it's the Jazz away from home, so it doesn't really scare me as much looking at that.
No, they've been terrible. They lose by double digits all the time.
Yeah, the Pelicans have just been so hard to cap. So I think this is the spot, especially they just took an overtime loss. I think they want to bounce back, get a win at home. Utah's just not a good away team. I think this is the game they win, but I don't think I want to lay 8. If anything, I'd maybe bet a performance double, like a Zion 25 plus or a Brandon Ingram 25 plus, and they win. Get the plus money on this game. Hope that guy gets to that number, and that's how I would bet this game. I'd hate to lay 8, and I feel like this game's got it written all over it where they're up 20 the majority of the game. Win game by 7.
Utah 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games against the Pelicans. The total's gone over in 14 of the Pelicans' last 18 games hosting Utah. But New Orleans also 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 home games. I'm fine staying away from this game. I have this projected as an 8-point Pelicans win, right on the number. Slight lean to the under, but not enough to get involved. The Indiana Pacers are now plus 2.5, Tyler. They were the favorites this morning, but I don't think that Tyrese Halliburton's going to play. And with Tyrese Halliburton, I'm not too excited about this lineup. When I'm looking at some of the projected minutes for this team, Halliburton would be at 36, and he'd probably be having those minutes taken up by Nembhard, some Neesmith, and some Benny Mathurin here. TJ McConnell obviously gets a big boost as well. Chicago, we've talked about since Zach LaVine's been out. This team's playing excellent basketball. There will be no Vukovic tonight, but Drummond and Turner, that's fine with me. I like the Chicago Bulls here. I think that they get it done. That's the one bet that I've placed already. Chicago 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games, but Indiana is 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games in Chicago. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is going to probably be the spot we end up pulling the trigger on. I mean, it lines up where the Pacers without Halliburton just aren't going to be a good spot. He runs a lot of their offense. I know McConnell and Nembhard could step in and do a little bit of that stuff, but he is the engine of that team. The Bulls have been playing good as much as I don't like them as a team. I mean, you open my eyes to them. We've been able to make some money on them. And on an ugly board like this, we'll talk about the games after this. There's not many other good spots here. I think this could be one of the spots that we do get on. They should be able to defend well with Drummond out there. They should win the rebounding battle. Indiana struggled on the road too. They're 1-4 ATS in their last 5 on the road. So I think it's a spot where maybe we can get on Chicago.
Yep, we both like Chicago. A game we disagreed upon, but it looks like the market is moving towards me, was the Denver Nuggets, who are now laying 8.5 to the Memphis Grizzlies, and I believe that's because John Morant's going to sit. That's what these market moves are telling me. The total is 224.5. Maybe some value if we had gotten a little earlier, but now at 8.5, it's getting kind of tough. The total's gone under in 4 of Memphis's last 5 visits to Denver, so I guess you can make an argument for the under, especially if Morant is going to sit. Tyler, if we would have pulled the trigger on this earlier at 7, maybe 8.5, I think it's moved out of our targeted range, especially since we did say we wanted to be careful this week. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, we were opposite on this game. I kind of like the points, but my whole handicap here is going to hinge on if Morant's playing. If he plays, I feel like that's a bit too many points.
If he plays, this line moves back to 6.
Yeah, it'd be one of those things you'd have to be quick on it, but I think the line starts to move before the news is even announced. Aaron Gordon's now out for this team. Got quote unquote attacked by his dog. He's out indefinitely. That's a key piece for them.
You should have cats, guys.
That's a key piece for them. It's now missing. Reggie Jackson might miss tonight too. He's got a skin rash problem. That's what the injury report's saying. So I don't know how many guys want to bump into him tonight. So I don't think he plays either. They're missing. I'm not going to call Reggie Jackson a key piece, but that is the backup point guard that does play minutes when Murray's on the bench.
It's a team that docks depth as well. So that's why
they don't have much depth anymore. We seen when Murray went out, he's a bigger key piece than Gordon, but when he went out, they struggled. Now you remove Gordon, who's a key defensive piece.
Mm-hmm.
If Morant plays, he's going to get free buckets at the rim all game. And this is way too many points. So I think I'd have to take the points if he plays.
All right. I don't think he's playing now.
It rubs me as one of those games Jokic puts up a ridiculous stat line, and they're in a dogfight late in the game.
Yeah. I think he's going to sit tonight, and they'll have him available when the Grizzlies take on the Clippers tomorrow night on NBA TV as the evening matchup. The San Antonio Spurs are plus 4.5 in Portland, taking on the Trailblazers. And I see that Shaedon Sharpe is out for this team. DeAndre Ayton's out as well. On the other side, Devontae Graham's out. But more importantly, Victor Wembanyama's in. I like the Blazers here, Tyler, but not enough to make it a bet. What did I project this game at? I have this projected as a 4-point Blazers win, and they are favored by 4.5. Not a lot of edge here unless you can see something on the floor that you think that either team could take advantage of. But I just like the Blazers a lot better. I don't know. They're coming off a win over the Kings. That was kind of a nice win for them, right? That was at home. They are on a homestand. To me, it's Blazers or pass, but I think we're going to end up passing.
Yeah, it'd be Blazers or pass. I kind of agree with you. I think we just got to pass. Their losses recently, I mean, they've got pounded. The Spurs have 130 to 118, 144 to 119, 114 to 95, 132 to 119, 146 to 110. They snuck in a win over the Lakers by 14 points, but then the Lakers beat them by 3 the night before that. Lost by 11 to the Rockets, lost by 9 to the Bulls, lost by 8 to Minnesota. So, I mean, they've taken some bad losses, but it worries me with no size on the other side. Like, who's Portland sending out as their big tonight? Who's listed as their starter? You got that in front of you?
Do operate.
Yeah, I mean, I think this could be a spot.
He did okay against Kings.
Yeah, but I think this is a spot Victor could put up a huge number. This could be a lot closer than you want it to.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I lean Portland in the end, but I don't think I can pull a trigger. This is the. I keep giving these at the end of the game, but this is the game where you would click Portland. Feels like it's a good spot, and it's like, why did I bet the dog shit team this today?
Total's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games when they faced off, so that's something to keep in mind there as well. Lean Portland, but not enough to get there. The Miami Heat are now plus 5.5. Tyler, wasn't this 3.5 earlier today when we were talking about this game? So I'm assuming we've got some bad news on the injury report. Oh, because Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, Caleb Martin all ruled out. Josh Richardson most likely not to go. That leaves us with a expected starting lineup of Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Jaime Aquez, Haywood Highsmith. I got some fun alliteration there with the names. Bam Adebayo. On the other side, I should see no Dre, no Gary Payton. So we'll see Steph, Pods, Clay, Kuminga, and Looney. I can't lay 5.5 with the Warriors.
I can't either. I maybe bet this performance double. I'm staring at this Steph 30 plus and win at plus 180, but
he's gonna have great matchups, bro. You got Hero and Duncan chasing him around.
Yeah, he's gonna light him up. 6 plus threes and win is plus 260. You could sit there and mess around with maybe doing 5, maybe doing 4-3, seeing if you can get that at even money, but I wouldn't lay 6 with them.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. All right. Total's gone over in 5 of the last 6 times that these teams have faced off. And Golden State is 8-1 in their last 9 games hosting Miami, but that's straight up not against the spread. The final game of the night, Tyler, is not very exciting. I'm sure Jonathan Nelson will be happy because the Lakers should get the win tonight as they're laying 13 to the Charlotte Hornets. The total is 226.5. a look at the injury report. Gerald Vanderbilt is most likely going to play. Anthony Davis, LeBron, and Cam Reddish are all listed as 50-50, although I expect Davis and LeBron to play, and that's by looking at the line. I haven't seen anything else there. Gabe Vincent's still out. On the other side, LaMelo's out. Hayward's out. Frankie Nichols is out. Mark Williams most likely won't play. Brandon Miller is a 50-50. Assume Miller plays. It's still a starting lineup of Ish Smith, Ben McGowan. Wait, what's his name? I don't even know his name. Bryce McGowan. Excuse me. Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and Nick Richards. Feels like an LA smash spot, but I'm not ready to lay this 13. Great job, odds makers, on basically putting a number up that's going to keep us completely off this game. Tyler, is there something that I'm missing here when we're looking at this Hornets and they're catching at just a crazy amount of points?
No, I mean, if you forced me to bet this game, I mean, maybe I take the points, just auto bet the dog, pray to God the Lakers just kind of sleepwalk the game, but I think we just stay away from this game altogether. Just leave it alone. It just doesn't rub me as a game where you can find an edge.
Yeah, I disagree. So we're only going to give out one best bet today. We're going to combine it. Are we going to go with Chicago, Tyler, or is there another bet?
No, I think we got to go with Chicago today.
Yeah, I agree. So the best bet will be the Chicago Bulls minus 2.5 against the Indiana Pacers without Tyrese Halliburton. If you guys want to wait, it seems like the line's already moved on his news because it's moved about 4 points. So I think that you could be safe and wait to see these confirmed out because I don't think it'll move that much more. Feels like they've already moved like he is out. But we both like the Chicago Bulls minus 2.5.
Yep.
All right, there you have it. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll be doing the NBA at 3 Eastern, and we're going to do NFL around 4 Eastern. And guys, we told you this was going to be a light week for us. That's why we're just choosing one play a day. But it's been working for us, right, Tyler? We won the last 2 days, right?
2 and 1 in the last 3 days.
So
1 and 1 one day,
on a tough week, if we can still move that unit count up and not down, I'll be happy for it.
Just a prop bet for everybody too. I don't hate a Jokic triple double tonight. Plus 135, great matchup. They don't have many bigs in Memphis. I think you're just playing for the assists. I think he walks into the other two. What do you think?
Yeah, are we concerned with the blowout there? That
I don't think they blow him out.
I don't think they do either without Gordon out there. So yeah, I would like that one as well. So, all right, guys, thank you all for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. We're keeping it light this week, but the ones we do give out are going to be winners, and tonight's winner is the Chicago Bulls. Use that to nuke the house.